I'm going to use my flowers. Okay. So I'm just going to take my transfer, put the rest of that there, and I am going to actually use it back to back twice. Okay. So I'm going to just put my flowers right on here. And I think I might put them over to the side just a little bit. So if I want to write something over here, or if I want to put the word, I don't know, whatever I want to do. If I want to put a saying, a nice little spring saying or a flower garden saying or something like that, then I can. So I'm going to put that right there. Put it right on my, I didn't even fuzz it, as you noticed. I usually will fuzz my transfers, but I've used this one several times, so it's not quite as sticky, so I'm not too worried about it pulling up the paper. Normally when you work on paper, we tell you to use surface wax so that you can protect the back of your transfer, because it's a sticker. Basically, it's just a huge sticker with silk screen inside. I'm going to use this color. This is just chalk paste, and chalk paste is just wet chalk that dries hard to the touch. So it's going to be permanent because I'm putting it on the paper. And I am just going to use, let me get one of my squeegees. This is the tool that we use in case you're new here or you don't know anything about chalk couture. Yes, Sloan made both of those bracelets. Yes, she did, my dear. Thank you for asking me. She's asking if my daughter made the bracelets I'm wearing. Yes, she did. That's why they're some of my favorites. And she did the grandmama one because that's what I'm called, grandmama. And I had her do it in rainbow color because that's my grandson's favorite color. And then she even put a little silver heart here on the back, where right next to my artery, right? And then she made the mama one for me just on her own one time, and iridescent kind of beads because she knows I love all the colors. So that makes them extra special. So Sloan is my daughter. I have one daughter, and she's 24. Gosh, I can't believe, yeah, she's 24. I have to really get my head. I want to keep saying she's 23, but she's 24. She'll be 25 this year. I can't even believe that. But she doesn't live here. She lives in the mountains of North Carolina, Western Carolina. All right, so I'm going to take my chalk paste, and I am going to take it right from my jar, and I'm just going to apply it over the entire transfer. So guys, I just got it over on the side. I didn't want to get it on. I want to show you this watercolor technique I talked about in the VIP group on Monday. I want to show you this because when I was trying to decide what kind of project I wanted to do today, I was like, wait a minute, I really want to do that technique. Why don't I just go ahead and show it in my Wednesday live? So that's what I decided. And I'm going to try to put this on here twice if I can hurry up. So the chalk paste dries in about 5 minutes or less. Just really depends on if you have a ceiling fan on, if it's really dry where you are. You know, there's factors like that. So I'm just covering the whole design. And I'm doing it a little differently than I did with the flag for the ladies that joined me Monday night. I'm doing it a little bit different than that, because this is what you would do if you ever wanted to do a watercolor technique. And you can do the same technique that I'm going to show you with any of our transfers. It doesn't have to just be this one. This is just one that I think it's going to be really cool. So I apply the chalk paste all on there. I can tell this chalk paste really could use some more water. The chalk paste should be the consistency of about, you know, like I like to say frosting, or like a frosting, whipped cream cheese. I really do feel like that needs some more. I'm going to pull this off. Yogurt, you know. So we're just going to pull this off, and we're going to have this lovely little design right here. And I did get a little mess here, so I'm going to try to figure out how to make that look like it was intentional. This one I'm going to put over here just because. Okay. And I'm going to take my squeegee and press it back down because it's already got chalk paste on it. And I don't want to get it all over my hands. So I'm going to, but you want to make sure you press your surface down really well. Okay. Onto your surface. I'm sorry, press your stencil really well onto your surface so you don't get any bumps or bubbles or anything like that. Okay. And then you want to apply your chalk paste. Like I said, this one feels a little thick. I thought I had added some water to it, but maybe I didn't, or I just didn't get a chance to stir it yet. So I am definitely getting it. But I'm going to do it back to back. Usually we tell you to wash your transfer in between, but if I move fast enough, then I should be okay. So bear with me in just a moment. I'll look at comments again. And guys, if I ever miss your comments, don't worry about it. I promise I always go back and I look at them after the fact, because sometimes our projects need a little more attention than we can give to reading comments and doing the project at the same time. So this is the only part that I just want to move fast on. The rest of it, we'll just take our time and enjoy the process, because to me, that's what's fun. Crafting with friends and enjoying the process. It's like a therapy. You know, it gets you to slow down for a minute, maybe take your mind off of whatever's troubling you or if pressing on you or stressing you, or just as a way to, you know, let your creativity flow. And that's what my desire is with this page, is just to encourage you to try something creative. So maybe I'm just coming on here and I'm teaching you a new technique, or maybe I am encouraging you, or maybe I am just entertaining you. Either way, I'm happy with that. Okay, so here we go. Thank you. I'm glad. I think it's interesting too. Hey, Barb, how are you, my sweet friend? Okay, so we'll pull this off now. And I'm not super worried if I don't get the best image. As you can see, I didn't get as clear of an image on this one as I did that one because I didn't wash it in between. But now we are. So I'm going to set these aside for just a second. Okay, and I'm going to show you, we're going to clean this real quick because I am going to need to reuse it. So first things first, let me take my squeegee. And guys, I'm going to add some water to this right now so I don't forget, because I love this color. This is one of my favorite colored greens. It's called eucalyptus because it's a very blue-based green. And yes, girl. I know. If you can do that, it's the best thing, right? I only add distilled water when I'm adding it to my jars because I don't want any fungus to grow in there. So if you're using tap water, you know, God knows what's in that, right? We probably don't really want to know what's in it, that they make it so that it'll be healthy for us. But distilled water, that way you won't have any kind of fungus growing in there, okay? That's what's in that jar. Now, I'm just going to use regular water to clean my transfer, and that's all you need is cool. I usually take it to the sink and use cool running water to clean it. And then a board eraser, which I'm getting ready to show you that as well. Hang on, I'm gonna take off the first layer. So this is kind of like a quick and easy way to do it. I just sprayed regular tap water on there, and now I'm just gonna wipe off like the excess chalk paste. And guys, I just washed these are like the Dollar Tree, you know, what do you call them? Dish drying mats. And you just throw them in the washer. I use these for like putting my transfers on until I can wash them, and then while they're drying. So I'm going to clean both sides, okay? But I'm just going to spray it again with water. I just got like the top layer of chalk paste off. And now I'm going to take a board eraser. This is usually comes in a big circle. I cut off a little corner of it, right? And I am just going to, I also call it, I really use it more for a transfer cleaner than I do for a board eraser. It's technically, we came out with these, they come in a 2-pack. We came out with these to help clean chalkboard surfaces because that's what our chalk paste was, you know, originally made for, was chalkboard surfaces. And this like helps to get your chalkboard all the way clean after you've taken off the old chalk, so you have no like shadow. And it's amazing. I don't know what it's made out of. It's not a Mr. Clean eraser, but it feels similar to it as far as how the spongy way it is. I don't know how to describe it. Guys, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. My eye's watering with my allergies, and I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I am so sorry. I just can't help it. And of course, you know, even though I have allergies, both sliding glass doors are wide open because I can't stand it. It's so beautiful, and I love fresh air. I get that from my mom, don't we, Lori? I love the fresh air. So I suffer with allergies terribly, but I can't help myself. If it's nice enough to have the windows open, I do it. So I have 2 really big sliding glass doors at the back of my living room, back of my house, and so they're wide open. All right, so I just cleaned that. You guys saw me clean that. Now, what I can also do with that is I can also take a cleaning wipe, not a baby wipe, a cleaning wipe, just to make sure I've gotten all, actually I'm going to do the front first, just to make sure. Now you'll notice that the vinyl part could be stained, and that's because I used a dark pigment on it the other night. And the vinyl can be stained. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need all those. It's storming there. I think, it's not supposed to storm here, but we do have a wind advisory. I don't think we're supposed to get a thunderstorm today. I don't think we are. Are we, Tammy? I don't think so. It was very dreary here yesterday. It didn't really rain a lot, but it was very dreary. But you can use a, you see how much more I got off using that? This is a cleaning wipe. Don't use a baby wipe because you can ruin it. You could take the stickiness off because a lot of baby wipes have alcohol in it, and that will remove the sticky part. But anyway, now that's nice and clean. As long as I can see through my silk screen, I know it's clean. I'm going to set this to the side so it'll be ready to use when I go to do the next step that I will need it. Okay. That's just a quick shortcut way that you can use it. Okay. So what are we going to do next? Now, so we're going to try something. This is the fun part. So now we have this image, and I still haven't decided. I don't know what I'll do with that. I don't know. I probably could take some water and rub that. I probably could do that because I don't know. I'll figure that out later, but we're just going to worry about the design right now. So I have this design that I can now play with. So I'm basically going to be doing some color. Oh, okay. Yeah, know how that is. Exactly. So yeah, she's saying, my neighbor's saying the weather says rain possibly after 9, but you know, we're on the coast, and you know, the ocean just, you know, changes weather all the time. So bodies of water seem to really affect the, you know, what happens anyway. Okay. So we're going to play with 2 different things that I really wanted to try. So the first thing we're going to play with on this one, let's see, feels like it's dry. Yep. It's dry. Are alcohol ink markers. So that's what these are. These are alcohol ink markers. I've had them for quite a while. I don't think I've used them, but maybe one project. And I've always been interested with these. What I think I was thinking I'd be able to do with these is like, if you do a photograph and you want to kind of color it or something, I was thinking these would work for that. I haven't tried it. Hey, Donna, thanks for hopping on, my friend. I haven't tried it yet, but I think that was probably what I was thinking when I got them, because I used to be a big scrapbooker. And I'm hoping to get back to that again soon. But we're going to play with this and see how it does. I know I have watercolor paper, so I could be technically using one of my watercolor markers. I do have watercolor markers somewhere, but I want to try these first. So let's just see. I don't think I'm going to be using black, but let's just see if we can make this a pretty little design using these markers. Now, the other day, so I only have that many colors. Now I know we all know that there's lots more colors in the world for sure. But the other day I did my tulip in orange, but I think today we are going to do it in a hot pink. I think we're going to do our tulip in a hot pink today. So this is the type of mark, and I don't know how this is going to turn out on this kind of paper, but it's, you know, it's just paper, and I can redo this design again. I have more paper. But as you can see, we have one side that's kind of like a calligraphy pen and one side that's more pointed. So depending on the image that we're doing, you know, the space that we're working in, that's what size is going to determine it. So what I want to do is I just want to take this and I'm just going to kind of color over all of the open area. And if you notice, I'm not being that particular. I'm just curious as to how these are going to do. It is picking up some of my chalk paste, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm not being particular to try to stay kind of like in the lines of where there is no, because there's a next step to this that we're going to do that's going to make it all work. So we're just going to add some fun color. Now see, that's not near as bright as what it looks like on there. Okay. I think I'm probably going to wipe these off a little bit at the end because it's picking up chalk paste and I don't want it to be like on there forever. I want it to ruin them. All right. So, and then I think for, the middle flower, I did it in purple on my other one. I'm thinking we're going to do this one in orange, more like it's a lily, because I love lilies. Y'all, what is your favorite flower? I know I've asked this before, and I know, you know, we all love spring flowers. What about your very first, the first flower of spring? Now, see, look how great this orange is covering. I don't know why the pink didn't cover as well. Now, guys, I was going to do it with my chalk paste. Roses. What, do you have a particular color of roses? Where did I get the markers? Very good question. I'm pretty sure I've had them for a while. Sunflowers or yellow roses. Oh, I love that. So you like sunny, yellowy. Okay, wonderful. I love that. Pink. Oh, I like pink. Yeah, I like pink too. Guys, there's not a color I don't like. The only colors I don't like are black and white, just because I don't feel like they're colors, or grays. Now, if it's silver, that's a whole nother story, but grays, blacks, and white. Neutral colors, I'm not as big a fan of. So I believe I probably got this set at some place like a Ross, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Beals, someplace like that. If you go, I love lilies too. I had tiger lilies in my wedding bouquet many, many years ago. So they sell them. So like this is a little small pack. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. I've seen them in much bigger packs. Oh, the daffodils. I love the first ones and I love daisies too. Yes. I love the first flowers of spring that just like you need that color. Like I shared the other day on my personal page, my hyacinth, my forsythia, I always say hyacinth. My forsythia bush was just a blazing yellow last year, and it came up as a memory. I love, love, love those. But they do sell, I mean, I'm sure you can get these at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby as well. Maybe even Walmart, I'm not sure. But I feel like I've gotten these at like those discount stores, because when I was in there last week, I remember seeing bigger packs of them. And I was like, I don't need those, Susan. You don't need those, Susan. You have plenty of pens. I am a pen junkie. So I didn't get any more, but that's where I'm pretty sure that I got them. And I mean, they're very, very reasonable. So it's definitely worth it. And like I said, I could be doing this in watercolor. I could also be using my chalk paste and a paintbrush to do these with chalk paste, because I can use my chalk paste as a paint as well. So, okay. So we only have one of the orange. Oh, look, I missed part of that tulip. But you know what? I feel like, don't you feel like we need to have like a little bit of orange down here too? So even though it's only really one lily, unless these guys here are trying to be like little lilies, I have to look at them. That's why I turned it around, you guys. I have to look at it. So on a walk last week, we saw a purple hyacinth was already bloomed. Of course, we've been seeing daisies here for a couple weeks. That's the cool thing in North Carolina, is that we get, we usually start seeing the daffodils start blooming pretty near the beginning to middle of February. Depends on how warm the February is, but like my friends that live over closer to Raleigh, which is where we moved from, they were saying it's supposed to get up to like 75 there today. So, you know, of course the flowers are. So I'm just imagining my garden back home, the one where we just moved from, you know, because I have bulbs and I have bushes that bloom in the spring, because I love the spring blooms and getting some color right off the bat. So, and from what I understand, the new owners, she is an avid gardener. She was right out there in the fall and was working already in the dirt. So hopefully she'll enjoy what I already have there for her, and she'll just build upon it. That brings my heart joy. All right. I need to add a little more pink over here to this. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Get them probably Amazon as well. If you need me to find a link for you, I'll be happy to do that for you, Dana. I can easily do that. You know what? I think these are a different color, so we're going to go on from there. So look, see, this is what we got going on so far. We may only get one of them done. We'll see. I do want to do something else different with this one. So I don't want to not do it at all, but I do want to at least finish one whole one for you guys. So let's just pick out some other fun colors. Let's just get some, I don't know, to me, these kind of, I know it's not the right time of year for them, but those look like marigolds to me. So I'm going to do those in yellow. And if you'll notice, I didn't do the middle here. I want to do the middle so it looks like, I don't know, maybe I should do all of those orange. You would think coloring would be fast, right? Coloring was my favorite thing to do when I was a little girl. I loved coloring. The best thing was always at Christmas was always getting a brand new pack of crayons. And then, of course, at, you know, I don't even know that these are all the same flower, but we're just going to kind of, we want lots of color throughout. So, or I want lots of color throughout here. You know, and of course, going back to school, getting new crayons. Oh my gosh, you all, that was the best. Nothing like a brand new, nice, sharpened crayon. I don't know. I don't think I need any more yellow there, but I do want to do yellow here on the inside of this guy and here. We just want it to be cheery. You know what I'm saying? Just cheery. Let's go ahead and get some of these guys colored. Now I do have a green here. I don't know if I'm going to use it, to be honest with you, because we have the green in the background already. And I'm not being real particular because even if I was doing this as watercolor, it would be even less precise, right? Because watercolor is supposed to kind of have that blurred, the blurred lines, right? Thanks for helping each other. That's what friends are for. So much more fun to craft with friends, you guys. So have any of you done watercolor painting? Have any of you, are you into watercolors? I have not, but I think it would be something I would really like because I've always liked that style of painting. When I go to a museum or I look at art, watercolor has always been, I love Monet's and stuff like that. It's just been always something that I've enjoyed. I get, you know, I have a lot of tie-dye and I kind of feel like that's kind of like a watercolor. But if you're interested in learning how to watercolor, I have a friend who is an excellent teacher and she does it all online. So her name is Melanie and she is with Painting Crafty and she is an excellent teacher. All right, guys. I feel like we got a lot of orange going on, don't we? I didn't intend for this to be so much orange, but I don't mind it. It's pretty. It's pretty. We definitely need a couple other colors in there, though. And it's hard, you know, you don't realize how many. It's like, wait a minute, is that another one? Is that another one? Is that another one? You know, as you're doing it. And then you step back from it for a second. Maybe I will use green on some of these like little stems. Let me get some more yellow in here. All right. And we won't be able to do them all. Now I do have a red. I'm curious what that's going to look like. What if we need something just to try it out. Let me see what I could find. I know we would have like geraniums and begonias would be red. Or, yes, I can, her name is Melanie. She's with Painting Crafty. I'll be glad to give you a link to her page as well. She does watercoloring and she walks you through the whole thing. It's so awesome. She's an amazing teacher. Let's just have a little bit of red down here just because it can be a bright, cheery color. We're going to pretend we have red flowers in the spring. I know we don't, but we're going to pretend. Now, I love a red hibiscus. You know, we're just adding colors. This doesn't have to be exactly indicative of what real life, because this is our imagination, right? We can make it any way we want it to be. And like my friend Christy was just talking about when she was doing hers, I do the same thing. I tell in my mind while I'm creating something, it's got a little story that goes along with it. So, you know, we're just going to pretend that in our little world, in the summer garden, we have some red. You know, we could have red tulips. I just didn't do the tulips in red, but we could have had red tulips, right? I'm not going to do every single piece of this, but I just want to have enough color that you can tell it's not just all a big green blur, right? Okay, so we got a little bit of red in there. This is what we got so far. Very pretty, right? It looks like I am like an amazing artist, right? I don't know if I'm an amazing artist because I've never tried. All right, so, or I haven't tried in many years, I'll put it that way. All right, so these little yellow ones, we're gonna put some green in here because I can't use yellow in them, right? And then like this little bud here, this is like a brand new leaf, and that green doesn't even show up very well, but it's there, like on the eucalyptus color, but it's there. So if we can throw in a little bit of green, let's just throw in a little bit of green here and there because we can. In our secret garden. How about that? It can be our secret garden. Who read that book? Secret Garden. I just love just about all kinds of flowers. So I do have my favorites, you guys, but I just love all kinds of flower and gardening. That to me is another type of therapy. I'm going to do these leaves. Garden therapy and craft therapy. And to me, it's just a palette. You know, you go outside and you start getting colors and you play with colors and you mix colors and you create your own little work of art. So to me, it's just a blank slate canvas out there and you can create it to whatever you want it to look like. We're just going to throw in some green. And I love the different colors of all the different shades of green in the spring. Isn't that the best? So look what we got going on so far. All right, guys, we have 2 more colors. Purple, of course. We got to have some purple in here for my friend Barb and my sister and my friend Tammy. All right, let me see. What can I paint? What can I do purple? I didn't leave a whole lot left to do purple. I don't know. Let's just do some purple in here. This is a very dark purple. It doesn't even have to necessarily look like it's actual on the flower because down here, we kind of got a hot mess jumble. You know what I'm saying? But we'll just have some color. We'll just bring in a little color because that's going to look really nice next to our orange, right? Got to have some purple. How can we not have purple? You all know I love me some purple. Okay. Let's throw some over here. Just looking for any open space that could use some purple. I don't have a whole lot of purple in here this time, you guys. I'm so sorry. We could do some purple leaves. Couldn't we? Why couldn't we? In our secret garden. Can't we have it? Why can't we? That's the cool thing about creating. You can have your imagination. So isn't this neat that you can just take a transfer and you kind of get your base outline and then you could make your own little work of art. Now, just because I have to and I love it, I got to add a little bit of blue. We got to add a little bit of blue. So maybe our leaves here will have some blue in them. These little spots that are white. So you're probably saying, well, Susan, why are you just doing the white? I'm going to show you in just a minute. Now, I could stop right when I did this and it would be fine. Okay, it would be absolutely fine. I wouldn't have to do anything else. That's what the garden flag looks like. I did not do a top layer, but I'm going to show you how you could do the same thing. You could do this with any color scheme, guys. You could even do it in the black and white or tan and black or tan and white or, you know, whatever color you feel like is good for your decor and what you like. You could do any color you wanted. Just trying to pull in a little bit of blue down here because I love blue as well. So now we have just about all the colors. Let's see, is there anywhere up here I can add some blue? Maybe some right here. I don't want anybody to feel left out, right? be super cool just like that. And what else could I do with this? What could you do with this, Susan? I could cut this out. This could be a card. I could use, I'm going to show you a different way to use it, but that's what it would look like before doing anything else to it. And it looks fine that way. And if you were doing watercolor, then it would be even more like a, you know, blurred kind of image. But what we are doing, why we washed that transfer is because now we are going to take our transfer and put it right back over the top. Okay. Right back over the top. Now, what I'm going to do before I do that, I'm going to add just a little bit of surface wax. So surface wax just kind of seals in what you've already done so that, and this is available in my shop as well. This just kind of seals in the work that you've already done and makes it so that if any part of my stencil that is sticky, see how it came back sticky after I got done washing it and drying it, that if any part of it touches any of this, paint. So the alcohol markers, I feel like works pretty well. So that's an option, right? Any kind of markers. You could use kids markers, you know, the Crayola markers probably, and do the same thing. You can use chalk paste and do this. And I'm going to show you on the other one other thing that I have that we're going to try. So you can use whatever you want. So I just put it down with a layer of chalk, went over it with the marker, and now I just sealed it in. And I did use a paper towel just in case it was picking up any of the paper. Any of the ink. Okay, so I just put that on and buff it in, and now that's kind of sealed. And now what we're going to do is, my eye is watering again, you guys, sorry. I hope I'm showing a technique that is something that you all would be interested in. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my transfer right back over where I just put my image down the same first time. So it's translucent enough that I can see through it. And I mean, it still doesn't have to be like 100% perfect. But it is see-through enough that I should be able to line it up where it needs to be. And I didn't color in everything. So it's like, I'm just trying to make sure I get the most of what I did. Okay. And then I'm just going to press that back down again. Now, I could use any color I wanted right now. What this is going to do is it is now going to bring back out all of those lines and details that were already embedded into that silk screen to really make you see the detail. I could do it in black. I could do it in gray. If I wanted it to be really like strong, I would do it in black. I don't. I want it to be lighter, but you know what I just thought of? I want it to shimmer because this girl is a shimmer girl, right? I didn't use anything shimmery on here. Hold on. I don't think I've used anything shimmery in a couple days. Well, that's not true. I did do it the other day. Okay. I need a shimmer. So let me grab one of my shimmers and we are going to chalk the same design over top of it and it's going to give it a pop of shimmer. Okay. I was going to use this green color. Isn't that fabulous? But I'm not. I'm going to use a fun shimmer. Something that's just going to really make it pop. I got an idea. Let's see. I could use a green, but I don't think I'm gonna. Oh, you guys know what I could use. I could absolutely use a silver. I just got my new color of the month in, which was Disco this month, and it's a metallic silver. But how about we use this instead? Because I'm just feeling this color today, apparently. So this is shimmer or violet, excuse me. So I am just going to do a design over the whole thing, and then that's going to add a layer. So I'm going to have some more purple in there. I'll have the light purple in there now. So I'm going to take shimmer. Yeah, I know y'all are loving my purple. I know I've got all my purple girls on here. Okay. So I'm just going to go over this same thing. And now shimmer does take a little bit longer than, shimmer does take a little bit longer to dry, just a few more minutes to dry than our regular chalk paste because it's got whatever that element is in it that makes it shimmer. And it's also just a tiny bit gritty. So our squeegees are angled on one side and flat on the other. I use the flat side when I'm using shimmer just because I feel like it pushes it through the silk screen a little better. I love this color. I don't even know what it's going to do to it, but we're just going to have fun and find out. If you just want something plain, I could have done shimmer shadow, which is black with some shimmer in it. That would have been cool too. Again, it's to your taste and what you like and what you want to play around and experiment with. And I know it might seem like I'm dipping it in there and using a lot, but I'm not, you guys, because I'm pulling off any extra that isn't being used. And it's super easy, you guys. Anybody can do this. If you can smear a bagel, butter toast, you can do this. This is easier, in my opinion, than frosting a cake. Okay? I've had my 4-year-old grandson live on my page 3 years ago doing a project with me. Never had done it before. And he was able to do it and was so proud of himself. Okay, let's put that aside. Now, the whole idea to keep it moist, you want to keep the air off of it, okay? So here we go. I've got it covered in the shimmer, and let's just see what happens. This is the magic. Oh, look at that. So now what I did in green was now covered. The green was just there to kind of help me as a guide, to let me see what I needed to do. So now I have